Shalom Akiyama Nakwaf. Blessings and peace to all you brothers and sisters out there. This is Quan coming through once again with another video, segment, edification, tool, whatever you want to call it. And I just wanted to do an addendum on the video I did previously called What is Kendrick Lamar Promoting? And I just wanted to play this video in continuity as opposed to, commentating as we go through, because I want to put everything in proper context and give you an understanding based off of what Kendrick Lamar is inspired by in regards to the esotericism and the Luciferianism that you see in the video, as well as, the veneration system. So let's just play this video in continuity.
What are you doing?
Watching the sun.
Yeah? Why are you watching the sun?
I've always wondered why people say we shouldn't stare at this powerful source of energy. It made me curious.
What if you go blind?
I never heard of anyone going blind from staring at the sun.
Guess you got a point there. Have you seen anything yet?
Many things.
Like what?
See for yourself. You should turn off the phone. Welcome to the present.
Too many opinions in the glass house. This world full of ego. Let me cash out.
Jumping that beat. Jumping that beat. Boss nigga. Jumping that bitch. Running that beat. Jumping that bitch. Two trench coats in the back. Baby king of rap. And I think he just came back. How the fuck did I go?
PG Lane.
Back, you're my son. Way relax, beat my son. Go to your room. Stop dissing. That ain't like both sides. She love all my guys.
As we grow up, we begin to identify with things, which means identify means we derive our sense of who we are from certain things. When you're identified with something that you are not, it always leads to suffering and unhappiness.
I wonder what he's thinking about up there. Or if he's even thinking at all.
So just based off of watching that, and I provided my takes on it for the last video that I did on it. Based off of my take from that, you can tell that this is heavy Luciferianism, and it's inspired by a writing of a book by a man named Eckhart Tolle, I believe. And basically, he describes the power of now. So let's go into it and let's get an understanding of it. But just going up, PG Lang, our community speaks different languages, breaks formats. Our community speaks different languages and breaks formats for the curious. Now, when you read this, this is just based in them cutting out a large chunk of what they wanted to write as far as their mission statement. So I'm guessing that that's like the theme of what Kendrick is trying to do, just making it more simplistic. Because on his Instagram, there's like a video of the writing of this, but then you see all of it being scribbled out in regards to what you see scribbled out here, and it says simplify. So I'm guessing that Kendrick is trying to emphasize the understanding of living in the now, living in the moment. And we know that the now is heavily based in Luciferianism. That's why when you see in the beginning, Baby Keem and Jorja Smith, they start to look into the sun, because the sun invokes enlightenment. But sun worship is based in the veneration of the sun god Osiris, as well as Amun-Ra and Saturn and Apollo. Based off of the fact that we understand that they've been venerated in different regions, therefore, that's why they have the same composites. So let me just go into Eckhart Tolle. And PG Lang might as well stand for pagan language. That's what it might as well stand for that. But let's go up to this article here, or Wikipedia page. Not Saturn blood worship. I just wanted to go into this other one. It's from Eckhart Tolle. Where is it? Alright, so we just gonna go to Eckhart Tolle. Spiritual teacher. That's what he's known as. He's known as a spiritual teacher. And he has a book called The Power of Now, I believe. So let's go to it. Excuse me. I'm all over the place here. Eckhart Tolle, born Ulrich Leonard Tolle, February 16, 1948, is a spiritual teacher. He is a German-born resident of Canada, best known as the author of The Power of Now and A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. A new earth, awakening to your life's purpose. What does that mean, a new earth? That's a play on a new world. You know what I mean? Autos Templis Orientis, a new world. You know what I mean? Auto Abkeo, do what thou wilt. New world order. Now, we're going to read up on it in regards to what this book is about. So, The Power of Now. Now, remember, we want to cite the video because the video is heavily inspired by what this writing is about in regards to this book here. So let's just go through it. The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment, is a book by Eckhart Tolle. The book is intended to be a guide for day-to-day living and stresses the importance of living in the present moment and transcending thoughts of the past or future. And that's why you see, that's why you see the display of the future, the now, and the present. I believe it was in that order. It was it was past, now, future. And you see Jorja Smith, she elects to go into the future plane. So this is giving you understanding of what this is inspired by, as well as the Luciferian aspect when you see her being illuminated when she's showing her right eye for the Mother Goddess, or for Hathor, or the Wajet, the Eye of Providence, so on and so forth. You see Baby Keem telling her to turn off her phone, because turning off your phone is indicative of you being focused on enlightenment in regards to you being 100% endowed in. You know what I mean? Because they believe that the sun is all power. They believe that the sun is all enlightenment in regards to edification. You being enlightened or illuminated or elucidated. So let's continue on. Spirituality, psychology. And I wouldn't be surprised if he delved into Scientology as well, with that whole belief system. Published in the late 1990s, the book was the book was recommended by Oprah Winfrey and has been translated into 33 languages. Isn't that something? 33 languages. I'm not going to make too much about that, but that's interesting. As of 2009, it was estimated that 3 million copies had been sold in North America. The book draws from a variety of spiritual traditions and has been described by one reviewer as Buddhism mixed with mysticism. Buddhism is heavy in the entertainment industry. A lot of artists, musicians, celebrities, they go into Buddhism. They worship the Buddha. And mysticism is just based in Mithraism, which is based in the Babylonian Kemetic mystery school system. They worship the pagan gods, and it's being displayed here, but it's up to the the keen eye, the people that understand what's really going on, for them to discern and decipher, what they want to choose. And for the most part, we're going to choose the right hand path. But they want to enlighten the people that's of the profane, the people that don't understand what's going on out here. They want to continue to deceive them because it's all a part of building that proverbial tower of Babel again. They want to put that cap on a pyramid. You feel what I'm saying? They want to put the capstone on the pyramid, and they want to continue to build that tower, that destruction, that rebellion against the Most High. All this stuff came from the understanding of the Tower of Babel. When you read Genesis, the 10th chapter and the 11th chapter. But let's just continue on. And it has been described by one reviewer as Buddhism mixed with mysticism and a few references to Jesus Christ. Those references is based in the understanding of Jesus Christ on the left-hand side, which is Heru or Horus. People don't understand it, but that's what that's about. Because of the amalgamation of the biblical teachings and the scriptural teachings in regards to what occurred during the Nicene Council. Because Constantine the Great, a so-called black man, has started the Nicene Council after 70 AD. You know what I mean? In 325 AD, years after we was besieged in Jerusalem, the Vatican was formed, the Roman Catholic Church, and that came during the Nicene Council. It uses these traditions to describe a belief system based on living in the present moment. Its core message is that people's emotional problems are rooted in their identification with their minds. The author writes that an individual should be aware of their present moment instead of losing themselves in worry and anxiety about the past or the future. And that's why Kendrick Lamar emphasizes the now. And when you look at the video, you see the clock. You don't see any time stamps in regards to like it going from 12 a.m. to 12. It's just now. Giving you the understanding that we are in this constant, living of just what we see in existence in the moment. And that's what they try to convey to us. But we have to understand what the future beholds. The future beholds the kingdom of heaven. So we have to think about the future if you of the hopeful elect. But in this society, they want to continue to just live in the now. And the now is all heavy Luciferianism. So they want people to worship these pagan ideologies and so on and so forth. And that's what the now is in reference to. So according to the book, only the present moment is important. And both an individual's past and future is created by their thoughts. The author maintains that people's insistence that they have control of their life is an illusion that only brings pain. Yeah, for the most part, because the Most High tells you that, he basically walketh man's steps. But at the same time, that doesn't take away the understanding that you have the decision to make your own choices for the most part. Even though the Most High, everything is done off the auspices of him, he leads your steps. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you should want to think about the future, because the future is Jacob's kingdom, man. The book also describes methods of relaxation and meditation to aid readers in anchoring themselves in the present. These suggestions include slowing down life by avoiding multitasking, spending time in nature, and letting go of worries about the future. And when you look at the beginning of the video, it's kind of a play on Genesis chapter 3. You know what I mean? Like baby Keem is proverbial serpent. And her Baby King basically influencing Jorja Smith to stare at the sun is basically, in congruence to the serpent telling Eve to eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now we know the understanding of that on a deep level. We know that that's not talking about an actual fruit, but that's a whole nother video for another day. But when you look at the beginning, it's kind of a play on Genesis chapter 3. You know what I mean? Where you see her being enlightened because the serpent had told Adam and Eve that they shall be as gods, knowing good and evil, knowing how to form their own standards of propriety in regards to rulership. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the power of Satan, to deceive you. The Most High is the one true God. We are not gods. You feel what I'm saying? We are physical manifestations of the Most High in regards to his people, Israelites, and we're supposed to judge the earth based in righteousness. The term God means judge, but you're not a God in terms of a deity, the all power, the omnipotent force. That's not us. We can never think on that level. We can't comprehend on that level. The Most High is all power, all ubiquity. That's what the Most High is about. The Alpha to the Omega. All right, so let's continue on. Some of the concepts contained in the power of now, such as the human ego. Now remember, Kendrick Lamar says, this world full of ego. He said, what did he say? He said, too many opinions in the glass house. This world full of ego, let me cash out. So Kendrick Lamar is telling you that, he's not in his conscience. He's not in his conscience. He's out of his consciousness. That's why when you listen to Damn, he talks about his death. He talks about him dying, proverbially. Because he knows his fate. He knows that he's not going to make it based off of the fact that, he turned himself over to Satan. The Most High turned him over to his lust. Now, you could get the understanding that Kendrick Lamar knows he's an Israelite, but with knowing that, you must follow the commandments, the laws, and the statutes of the Heavenly Father to the best of your ability. And Kendrick Lamar elects to not do that because he is in the music industry and he has to continue to worship the pagan gods. He has to. That's what they have to do if they want to reach high levels. You cannot go far in the music industry without worshiping the pagan gods. You feel what I'm saying? That's why they either kill you off or you don't get far. And I wouldn't suggest that nobody want to, become a part of the music industry. I'm not saying that you shouldn't pursue your goals, but you should be aware of what that system is about. Going indie, that's cool, but for the most part, you still venerate that system to a degree. You feel what I'm saying? Because they starting to make indie commercial. So let's continue on though. Some of the concepts contained in the power of now, such as the human ego. Remember Kendrick Lamar speaking on ego. I'm guessing he has a song coming called Ego. I'm not too sure. And its negative effects on happiness are further elaborated in the author's later books. In particular, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. So let's I wanted to delve into some pictures real quick. Let's get some pics. Right. We're going to start on this one. Now remember, when you go into the video, the first thing that we see is, well, in regards to them, gazing into the sun, quote unquote, you see Jorja Smith, her eye starts to become illuminated, her right eye. And also, when you see another, I'm guessing it's like what can I say, like a shot where you see Baby King, his eye starts to tear on the left. Because the left eye is in veneration of Horus or Osiris, and the right eye is in veneration of Hathor or the mother goddess, the Wajet, the eye of providence. So when these celebrities take pictures with either the right eye open or the left eye open, and the right eye closed or the left eye closed, and you just seeing one eye, that's what that's in veneration of. That's why they do that. You know what I mean? And this hand sign that Kendrick is throwing up is Luciferian. I just forget where it comes from. I'll probably do a video on it, but it's Luciferian, his hand sign that he's throwing up. So you see Kendrick Lamar on the cover of ID magazine, and look at the ID. you see a smile with the nose and the winking of the eye. You see that? You feel what I'm saying? That's the same thing that Kendrick Lamar is doing. He's paying homage to his God, who is the Baphomet, or quote unquote Osiris, Amen-Ra, all the same thing in regards to the compository aspect. So let's get another one. Nipsey Hussle. Now this is a song that Meek Mill had put out, excuse me, with Roddy Ricch, where, you know, I guess he was dedicating the song to Nipsey, and you see Nipsey's eye, the left eye, being highlighted, but you don't see the right eye. You feel what I'm saying? That's how you know that this man was a sacrifice, man. This man was a sacrifice. As soon as he signed that deal with Atlantic, it was over. It was over. And I was watching closely. I'm like, yo, Nipsey is really getting a lot of notoriety. Even though Nipsey been doing this thing for the past 10 years, but soon as he put out that album, and you could see the album being in black, red, and white for the Black Mass, that tells you that he signed that blood deal, man. When I saw him in that video, that Meek Mill and Drake video, I'm like, oh yeah, something is happening. Something is gonna happen to him. I knew something was gonna happen to Nipsey for some reason. Like it was something telling me that something was gonna happen, just based off me following things. And the last video I saw of him was him with Lauren London. I think they was on like a GQ episode on YouTube or something like that, and they was asking each other questions, something like that, like 21 questions. Like something hit me, like when I found out that he died, going back to that. I'm like, maybe she had something to do with that. You feel what I'm saying? And my brother Chronicles of Judah 144, shout out to Chronicles of Judah 144. He's really incisive. You guys should subscribe to his channel as well. He gives you a lot of insight, real further insight. You know what I mean? I get a lot of my teachings from him, as well as, you know, a system that I was brought up in regards to me coming into the knowledge. You see Roddy Ricch, you know what I mean? The right eye exposed for the mother goddess. And the black and white, which is in the understanding of the opposites coming together. You feel what I'm saying? Those are Masonic Luciferian principles, black and white. You know what I mean? Or the blue and the red. Black, white, and red for the Black Mass. They believe in the bringing together of the opposites, the yin and the yang. And Roddy Ricch, he definitely sold his soul, man. He definitely sold his soul. Benny the Butcher, one of the rappers out of the camp, Griselda, they definitely sold their soul. You know, they signed that deal with Shady. And after they signed that deal with Shady, they took off. Now you're seeing pictures like this. And I've been following these guys since 2016. They was independent. And before they signed their deal, you didn't see images like this. As soon as they signed their deal, you see Conway the Machine throwing up the Manu Carnuto hand sign, the devil horns. You see Westside Gun throwing up the Manu Carnuto. You see them taking pictures with Kanye and Jay, and them being a line with Jay-Z's Rock Nation and Eminem. These dudes, they into that Luciferianism. They sold their soul. They're talented, but you know, they give their soul over, man. These dudes, they get their talent from the Most High, but based off of their misunderstanding of the Most High, they don't have that faith, so they turn their souls over to Satan, to the adversary, to the elect here on the earth. So this is what you see for the Black Mass. You see the black, white, and red. The blood red over the black and white, the Black Mass. If you Google the Black Mass, you'll be edified and elucidated in regards to what that's about. You see the black, white, and red for the Black Mass again, and you see Anarchy. Busta Rhymes' album Anarchy, I believe it came out in 2000. Now, I'm going to go to an article real quick on the meaning of anarchy. So let's go to it. Show simplified view. Anarchy symbol, meaning in history. The circle A anarchy symbol is one of the most recognized political symbols. It is more modern than the classic black flag, which is also a common symbol for anarchism. Circle A can often be seen spray painted on walls and under bridges in red or black, or as a flag. The letter A comes from the first letter of the word anarchy or anarchism. And anarchy just means do it what thou wilt. Do whatever you want to do. No restrictions, no authority. You feel what I'm saying? They want this world to be based in heavy anarchy. You know what I mean? So continuing on, which has the same meaning in many European languages. The letter O stands for order, Together, they stand for anarchy is order. So that means what? Order out of chaos. Ordo ab chao. That's what that's about. Anarchy is a philosophy or political beliefs that advocate the absence of authority resulting in a state of chaos and disorder. Theoretically, it will be anarchy, complete freedom from political, governmental, and authoritative intervention, resulting in maximum freedom and individual rights. And anarchy is not conducive for overall society because what that leads to is mass confusion. That's why you have to have a society that's based in culture, so everyone can have a uniform understanding of standards of propriety. But in this society, they embrace anarchy because that's a touch off or offspring of do what thou will, Marxism, so on and so forth. How the Circle A anarchy symbol was born, no one knows, but there are records to show that it is used in the late 1800s by the anarchists, the Federal Council of Spain of the International Workers Association. It comes later with photos of the Spanish Civil War from 1936 to 1939 applied to a military's helmet. It was not until the 60th century when two French anarchist youth groups began to use the anarchy symbol as it became known, first in France and then throughout the world. First, Unis Libertine in 1964 and later Sacco e Vanzetti. I can't pronounce that. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. In 1968, right? So, anarchy is based in order out of chaos. Like what you see with this whole coronavirus. They trying to establish order out of this quote unquote pandemic or this panic so they can bring in martial law. You feel what I'm saying? That's the same thing. Order ab chao. They've been utilizing these tactics for years. It's just that people, or most people, I won't say people in general, but most people don't do research on these things. So let's go back to my photos. Just give you an understanding of what Busta Rhymes is promoting here. And you can see it. It's black, white, and red for the black mass. So that man is heavily, heavily into Luciferianism. And Busta Rhymes is sus. You know what I mean? Like there's rumors about him being a homo. And all these celebrities, they homos. But, they like to pick and choose who they want to expose. And as you guys can see, Jay-Z, there's nothing much I can say about this. This is just self-explanatory here. We all know about that man. And you see the son right here, Kendrick Lamar, performing in front of, a video or what you would see on the Titantron of a sun, showing you that he's venerating the sun. You know what I mean? This is high-level Luciferianism, y'all. This is high-level Luciferianism. You see Rihanna, covering the right eye, the left eye being for Horus or Heru. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Oh, man. These people, man. People, they always look at it like, what you mean these people, they devil, they worship Illuminati and all this stuff. Like, people don't understand, like, it's deeper than that word Illuminati. Like, people gotta, let go of that term. Even though, it's applicable, we shouldn't say that word because that word, it basically took on a life of its own. When you say that word Illuminati, it takes away from the real understanding of the nuance. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I don't like to say Illuminati. You know what I mean? I like to say more so like Luciferianism or, that worship system in which they venerate the pagan gods. I just go straight to it. They worship the pagan gods. It is Illuminati, but that term is really like vague in regards to how certain people interpret it. They just look at it like, oh, devil worship. Like it's deeper than that. That's vagary. We have to understand the nuance and the minutia. You see her again, with the left eye exposed on ID Magazine. ID Magazine is a heavily influenced by paganism, man. You see the 5-point star for Saturn, man. Or for the star of Sirius. You feel what I'm saying? The star of Sirius. And you got Kobe Bryant's, he had this little show called Detail. And you can see, like, basically, with the highlight of the basketball is the eye. Because you see how it's shaped in a pyramid form? The basketball is an eye. Kobe Bryant was a heavy, heavy Luciferian. That's why he sacrificed himself, man. Kobe Bryant sacrificed himself. He sacrificed himself for the great work, man. But yeah, this is supposed to be in veneration of the eye of providence, or the all-seeing eye right here. You see, I think this is Gwen Stefani. I believe this is Gwen Stefani here. You know, showing you what she about, man. The 666 hand sign, or the yoni. You know, exposing her right eye while her left eye is open, but just emphasizing, you know, that 666 on her right eye. These people, they tell you what they about, man. And y'all motherfuckers, y'all still worship these people. And when I say y'all, I'm not talking to the people that's in the know. I'm talking to these people that gainsay and that don't understand. Now you see this picture here of Tupac and Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and Suge Knight. And you see Tupac and Suge Knight, they're throwing up the masonry hand signs. These poses right here is for masonry. Look it up. It's for masonry. All you got to do is look it up. You see Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, you don't see their hands because it wasn't their time yet to shine. It was Tupac's time to shine, and Suge Knight was the mastermind. Suge Knight was the head of all of this. So that's why you see Suge Knight and Tupac throwing up the Masonic hand signs or hand gestures, or, you know, what have you. Redman, you know, throwing up the devil horns for Manu Carnuto, for the Baphomet, the goat god. These people, they worship this system, man. And they have to, in order for them to maintain their fame and the riches, man. But when you hear about stories like Kevin Hart, you know, rebelling against the system and the tenets and the rights, it's because maybe he wasn't willing to compromise himself, or maybe he felt guilty about what he promotes, you know. But you see him now, you see him on TV shows and all that, because they probably reinstilled some programming in him, or they probably told his ass, you know what, we're gonna tune your ass up if you don't get it together and worship these figures, man. You know, it's crazy, man. And this is Pythagorean numerology chart. I had touched on this in another video, and you see for the 6 is FOX. And when you think of FOX, what you think of? You think of the news channel Fox. The term X is for the number 6 in the entertainment industry. That's why you see songs from Kodak Black. I think it was on Kodak Black's last album, or maybe like in 2017, I believe. His album, I think it was called Painting Pictures or something like that. He had he had a song called Malcolm XXX. Why are you calling it Malcolm XXX? His name is Malcolm X. That's how you know that was something that was ordered of him to do in regards to naming that song that. Malcolm XXX. XXX in Tentacion. And he knew he was going to die because he was not willing to partake in the rituals of worshiping the Bacchus or the Osiris or the pagan gods. So he said, fuck that. Y'all going to kill me? I'm going to let it be known that this is all based in a sacrifice, because we living in these last days. So a lot of people waking up to what this shit is really about. And it's further, the Most High put the spirit on people to further exemplify what this shit is about. You know what I mean? So the profane can come out of that state of docility and come home to the understanding of what this really about. Only in regards to the Most High's people, the Israelites. So let's continue on with the pictures. But remember, 6 in the entertainment industry is X. You know what I mean? Now, this is a picture I had looked up on Pinterest, and you see her doing the as above, so below pose right here. You see this? And she's venerating the sun, so she covering all her bases, man. She covering all her demonic bases, man. This is blatant right here, right? Look, you see this? This shit is blatant. This is blatant right here, man. Let's go into SunWorship real quick. We're gonna go into SunWorship. We're gonna go into SunWorship. Where are we at? Just read a little bit about it. Sun worship, veneration of the sun, or representation of the sun as a deity, is an Atonism in Egypt in the 14th century BCE. You see right here, the worship of the quote-unquote sun. King Akhenaton, with his wife Queen Nefertiti, and 3 of their daughters under rays of the sun god Aten, or Aten. Come on, pop up, man. Get out of here. Altar relief, mid-14th century BCE in the state museums at Berlin. Although sun worship has been used frequently as a term for pagan religion, it is in fact relatively rare. It's not rare in the music industry, I'll tell you that much. Though almost every culture uses solar motifs, only a relatively few cultures, Egyptian, Indo-European, and Mesoamerican, developed solar religions. All of these groups had in common a well-developed urban civilization with a strong ideology of sacred kinship in all of them, the imagery of the sun as the ruler of both the upper and lower worlds that he majestically visits on his daily round is prominent. The sun is the bestower of light and life to the totality of the cosmos. With his unblinking, all-seeing eye, he is the stern guarantor of justice. With the almost universal connection of light with enlightenment or illumination, the sun is the source of wisdom. So this is why they worship the sun. And this is all based in paganism. Even with the understanding that is, they believe that in regards to the rites and the tenets, they believe that it invokes wisdom. You know what I mean? Because the sun, because the mother goddess, I believe it was Hathor, the cow goddess, was the goddess of wisdom. That's why she provides milk. You feel what I'm saying? And Hathor, when you understand the illumination side in regards to them exposing their right eye, that's what that's in veneration of. Is in veneration of the mother goddess Isis or Hathor. I believe she was the mother of Heru, and the wife of Semiramis. And the wife of Osiris. The quality, sovereignty, power of beneficence, justice, and wisdom are essential to any elite religious group, and it is within these contexts that a highly developed solar ideology is found. Kings rule by the power of the sun and claim descent from the sun. Solar deities, gods personifying the sun, are sovereign and all-seeing. The sun is often the prime attribute of or is identified with the supreme deity. The supreme deity being who? Not the Most High. The supreme deity being Osiris or Apollo, Because Osiris was known as mighty. And Osiris is just a composite, allegorically, of Nimrod, because Nimrod was known as a mighty hunter. In ancient Egypt, the sun god Ra was a dominant figure among the high gods and maintained this position from early in that civilization's history. In the myth relating the voyage of the sun god over the heavenly ocean, the sun sets out as a young god Kepler, appears at noon in the zenith as the full-grown sun Ra, and arrives in the evening at the western region in the shape of the old sun god, Atum. This is where you get Adam Ra, Atum Ra, Amun Ra. When the pharaoh Akhenaton, reformed Egyptian religion, he took up the cult of the ancient deity Ra Hakoret, or Harakti, Ra Harakti, excuse my pronunciation, under the name of Aten, an older designation of the sun's disk. Under Akhenaton, the sun's qualities as creator and nourisher of the earth and its inhabitants are glorified. Alright, so we're going to stop here, and we're going to go into Saturn blood worship. Just a little bit, I know it could be, a little overbearing in regards to the reading, but it's important for us to understand these things, man. The zodiac as we have known it will be altered due to these magnetic changes, and the astrology influence or mental imprints will change, alter, or simplify depending on the level of awareness and interactions with those cosmic and magnetic influences. This means that our magnetic imprint received from the zodiacal constellation alignments at birth will cease to have the same influence upon our body, our personality, our mind, and will impact many other factors. Conversely, those whom are under the severe mind control influence of the zodiac archetypes used by the NAA machinery may accelerate those influence into distorted behaviors. And this is what you see with the veneration of astrology. Distorted behaviors among the masses. People who have a distorted understanding of certain things in regards to paganism. Astrology is not something that should be worshipped. We should not be worshiping the signs and the constellations, saying that you're a Gemini or you're a Virgo. That's paganism. That's Luciferianism. That's what that is. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I don't believe that I was born in June or what have you, but I'm not of that, because the calendars and the times, those are all man-made. Those are all man-made. In ancient times, we did not know of a June or a May or April. The term June goes back to the mother goddess Juno, or April going back to April. You feel what I'm saying? Like, these are all based in pagan ideologies. The Gregorian calendar is based in pagan ideologies. The days of the week is based in pagan ideologies. Monday is for the moon god. Tuesday is for the god Tu or Tyr. Wednesday is for the god Woden. Thursday is for the god Thor. Friday is for the goddess Frigga. Saturday is for Saturn, Sabado. Get it? Sunday is for SunWorship. That's why you go to quote unquote church on Sunday, because you're not worshiping the Most High. You're not. When you go to church, you're not worshiping the Most High. It has been confirmed that Saturn is a headquarters used for zodiac mind control, and that this planet's aura and logos is the densest and most problematic in the entire solar system. Saturn is an Orion group and satanic force outpost for many of the NAA. Activities to distort and pervert the lower dimensions and propagate the 4D astral delusions along with the 5D false ascension programs. So I just wanted to get a little bit of that. Let's go back to the pictures real quick. So we see right here Cardi B, throwing up the Manu Carnuto and covering what? Her left eye, exposing the right eye for Hathor, or the Wajet. You know what I mean? And Cardi B, she looks, not to digress, but when you look at Cardi B, don't she look like the Scream Mask? I'm sorry, y'all. She's a relatively beautiful woman, but she just got that face that remind me of the Scream Mask. Let's go, man. So you see Cardi B here, with the Anarchy patch on, I guess that's her blouse or her top or whatever. You see the Anarchy patch there because she's promoting Anarchy in her music video for Bodak Yellow. When Eve was confounded in regards to the Most High condemning her and Adam, they became rebellious. They became sinners. They opened up the door for sin. And when you watch the video for Bodak Yellow, it's a play on that. And, as you see here, the Baphomet, as above, so below. Just like we saw here. You know what I mean? Look at this. Look. So I just wanted to finish there. I'm going to continue on in part 3, just to add more to it in regards to the esotericism and the paganism. I just wanted to use Kendrick Lamar's PG Lane company or whatever he's doing with that as a backdrop for what I wanted to convey. And I just thank you guys for bearing with me and supporting this channel. And I just ask you guys to continue to support, like, and subscribe if you haven't. And I thank you all. God bless y'all. Peace.